Hey everybody, welcome back to day 24 of my success tips, going from being unemployed, overweight, broke, and mildly depressed to a place of happiness and joy, of good cash flow or a sound, gainful employment and financial stability. If you've been following the blog, every day I've been providing tips, books to read, recommendations of articles and things like that I think will help you if you're in this situation that I'm in, which is being unemployed and not having any money, and everything that I've shared in previous blogs. Still looking for work, but things are looking up. And today what I want to talk about is prioritizing your activities. It's easy to think that, when you're unemployed, if you did what I did, hopefully you didn't, but if you fell into a bit of a depression for a long time and just felt pretty whipped and beat down and didn't feel like picking your tail up and getting your business going forward, I get it. I did that, and I wasted a lot of time and sitting on the couch, sitting in my recliner, feeling bad about myself and for myself. And you may have gotten past that, but if you have, you might be at the point now where you're like, okay, well, what do? I'm unemployed. My main priority right now is finding a job. And you're probably booking your entire day or scheduling your entire day around job searching. Or you may not even be keeping a calendar anymore because you're not working. And you might just be sitting down in the morning, getting on Craigslist, getting on Monster, and just searching through the vast array of jobs that are out there for postings for positions. And I want to encourage you to not think like that. It's easy to fall into that, and if you do that sometimes, what you're going to find is you're just spinning your wheels. Plus, sitting down and just searching for a job all day is not beneficial to you. It's really not. There's other things that you can be doing that will prepare you more and help you more to find a job and to get a little more experience and knowledge than just searching for a job. And so today I want to talk to you about prioritizing your schedule and figuring out what that is. Many of you have probably heard the saying, plan your day and work your plan. And I want you to think of that. You need to be planning your days every day. What I typically do is on Sunday evenings, I'll plan my week. I'll sit down. And when I say plan my week, I don't write out the schedule for every day because everything changes, right? You might have things that pop up, phone calls that come in, things that you have to do, places or errands you have to run. And planning your whole week ahead does not make sense. But what you need to do is you need to sit down on Sunday and figure out, okay, what is it that I want to accomplish this week? What is it that I need to get done? Write that down on a list and then fill in your major appointments. If you have anywhere that you have to be or anything you've already committed to, put that into your weekly schedule. And then what I do is I sit down on Monday morning and I say, okay, what did I have from Sunday of what I need to get done this week? And I will prioritize it. You may have heard of the ABC method. And the ABC method is actually one of the most efficient ways that I've found to prioritize your tasks. This is nothing I've created. I've learned about it in the past. Franklin Covey, there's been different corporations that have taught this, different organizations that teach time management. But if you prioritize it, just go through your list that you wrote down on Sunday and say, okay, what is the most important thing to do this week? What is the one thing or the few things if I do, will bring the most value, bring the best chances of finding a job, bring me the most happiness or satisfaction, and make me feel like I'm succeeding this week? What are the main handful of things? And then go down through your list and prioritize those things as A items. Write an A in front of them. And then what you do is say, okay, what's the next thing? If I have time to do, what would be the next thing that would bring the most value to my week? And prioritize those as B's. And then whatever's left over, put a C in front of that. And then what you do is go back through your list and go, okay, look at your A's and say, okay, what's the number one A that I need to get done? What's the number one thing if I do will help me in my situation right now get through it and find a job and get money and cash flow, and put a 1 behind that A. And then go down through your list and prioritize numerically every A, one through whatever it is, and do the same for your B's and your C's. And then when Monday morning rolls around, you sit down and you say, okay, today I'm going to pick the top 2 or 3 A's that I think I'll have time to get done, and I'm going to put them in today, schedule them into my Monday schedule. And then put some B's in there and put some C's. And B's and C's, I just leave the C's down below as, okay, if I get through everything today and I have time, I will start attacking my C's. But don't put more than a couple of A's, more than a couple of B's, because we all want these huge long to-do lists that we can look back at the end of the day and say, wow, look how much we got done. But the problem is if they're really big A's, A1, A2, A3 on your list, it's going to take you quite a while through the day to get done with those items, with those tasks. And you'll feel really frustrated if you put down too many A's because you won't get through them. And so that's what I do. And then every day, the next day on Tuesday morning, right first thing in the morning, I sit down at my desk and I have a set time every day. I get into my office and I sit down and I write out my schedule, and I look at any A's I didn't get done, and I transfer them to Tuesday, any B's I didn't get done, any C's, and then I go back to my main list that I wrote Sunday evening and add the A, B, and C. So you kind of see what I'm talking about, how to go through this, but you got to stick to it. Don't jump ahead to the B's when things get difficult. Do your A's first and crack through them. And you'll find there's a book out by Brian Tracy, and you've heard he's one of my favorite authors, and I've really looked up to him, been following him since I was 13 years old. Brian Tracy has a book called Eat the Frog, and it mainly talks about how you want to eat the frog first thing in the morning. Do the task that is most challenging, that's the scariest, that's everything. Just to give you an example, I had a task today. I had contacted a variety of civic organizations and groups that I've been part of growing up, from 4-H to the Veterans of Foreign Wars, that VFW, I'm a lifetime member, to Optimist Club, Kiwanis, different organizations like that, and Cub Scouts, and contacted them and said, hey, you know, I would like to come and speak and volunteer my time to speak about anything that you think is noteworthy for your organization. And you know, no strings attached, nothing. I just want to get out and volunteer, and let me know how I can work it in. And I got a call back from one of the organizations. They wanted me to call them back, and I put it down as an A item to do right away. And I got to tell you, I was a little apprehensive. I haven't been in the job market obviously in 7 or 8 months now, or 8 months, and you know, it's scary, and reaching out to people and rejection and all that. And I called this gentleman up, and we got talking, and he had thought that I wanted to come in and talk about a certain thing, and I said, no, here's what I'm looking at talking about. I think that might help your organization. The VFW might help you guys for recruiting. And I shared it with him, and boy, we had a great conversation. It was just awesome. And you know, he said, okay, let's come in on Friday. Let's meet on Friday, get together and talk. So I'm meeting with him Friday in person. That's a eat your frog moment. I didn't want to do it because I was kind of apprehensive. What if the guy said, absolutely not, we have no use for you? And instead I said, okay, this is an A item for today, let's do it. And it opened up, and really probably is going to become a great thing. So do your A's first. If you get tired, need a break, hop to a B, but try to stay away from the C's unless you absolutely have a lot of time to get to your C priorities, because they're usually just kind of time wasters, things that, you know, may or may not happen. And then what you have to do is weekly, at the end of the week, you have to look at your A's, and if you have A that you never got to, it's probably not an A. You need to reprioritize it as a B for the next week. B's you didn't get to, reprioritize them as C's, and C's you didn't get to, you really need to think about whether or not there's something you really can do, need to do, or if it's something you can delegate to somebody else, or just drop it off your list. And that's how I go through my day. And so try to do that if you can. There's a good book that I want to recommend called Personal Efficiency Program by Carrie Gleason. Again, Personal Efficiency Program. It's one of the first books I read on organization. It was written in 1994, so there's some things in it that might be a little outdated or antiquated, but it still is really good at helping you understand how to prioritize, how to organize, and don't let that slip. Now that you're not working, now's the best time to put systems in place to get back into the habit of scheduling your tasks and setting up a daily calendar of to-do items. Just get back into that habit, so when you're working again, you'll have that ability and that skill set that is very valuable to most employers. So with that, that's day 24 tip. Have a great Wednesday hump day, and check back tomorrow on Thursday for day 25. Take care.